Have you ever felt like your brain just isn't wired for a certain subject? You know, that feeling of, I'm just not a math person. Well, what if I told you the secret isn't what you learn, but how you learn it? Today, we're diving into the brilliant book, Learning How to Learn, to master the skill of learning itself. So, this all starts with a story about Barbara Oakley. Growing up, this is exactly how she felt. She actually said, I hated math and science. I did badly or I just plain failed. Does that sound familiar at all? I think a lot of us have been there, totally convinced that we're just missing the math gene or something. Okay, so here's the puzzle that changes everything. How does someone who failed her way through high school math and science become a professor of, get this, engineering? The answer is incredible, and it's all about understanding the amazing machine we have between our ears. All right, first things first, we have to completely bust this huge myth of having a math brain. This idea that some people are born good at certain subjects and others just aren't. The reality is, your brain is not some fixed thing you're stuck with. Barb's story is just amazing proof of what scientists call neuroplasticity. She literally rewired her own brain. And the best part? The tools she used are things that you, me, absolutely anyone can learn and use. So, if we can rewire our brains, how do we actually do it? Well, it all starts with understanding your brain's two secret operating systems. This is the key that unlocks pretty much everything else. Think about it like this. Your brain has two basic gears. There's the focus mode, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's that intense concentration you use when you're really digging into a problem. But then there's the second gear, the diffuse mode. And this one is just as important. It's your brain's relaxed, creative state where all the new ideas and aha moments come from. You see, the key to truly learning isn't about just trying to focus harder. The real magic happens when you get good at switching between these two modes. And to really get a feel for this, let's imagine your thoughts are a ball and a pinball machine. When you're in focused mode, imagine that pinball machine has bumpers that are packed super close together. The pinball, your thought, just bounces around on these very familiar, well-worn pathways. This is great when you're practicing something you're already familiar with. But what about when you get stuck on something new? Forcing yourself to focus just makes it worse, right? That's your cue to switch into diffuse mode. Suddenly, the bumpers on the pinball machine are spread way apart. Your thoughts can now travel all over the place in new and unexpected ways, making brand new connections. And how do you get there? You just take a break. Seriously. Go for a walk, listen to some music, let your mind wander. You're still learning. Okay, so switching modes is a game changer. But how do you make the stuff you learn actually, stick? Let's talk about the ultimate memory hack, which is all about building brand new structures inside your brain. The single most effective technique is called active recall. Now, this is not just rereading your notes over and over again. That's passive. This is active. It means you close the book, you look away from the screen, and you try to pull the information out of your own head. That feeling of effort, that's the feeling of learning. But what is actually going on up there when you do this? It's not just some kind of mental trick. You are physically, and I mean literally physically, starting to build new structures in your brain. Your effort is kicking off a real biological process. So just imagine a single neuron in your brain before you learn a new idea. On a microscopic level, it's basically just there. It's like a smooth path waiting for a signal to tell it what to do, how to change. And now, check this out. This is the very same neuron after you've practiced recalling that new information and then, crucially, gotten a good night of sleep. See all those new little branches? They're called dendritic spines. They have physically grown. Active recall is what tells your brain what to build, and sleep is the construction crew that comes in overnight and actually does the work. You literally wake up with a smarter, more connected brain. Okay, so we've got these incredibly powerful learning tools. But let's be honest, there's one massive villain that always gets in the way: procrastination. So let's talk about how to outsmart that inner zombie that trips all of us up from time to time. And your best weapon against that zombie is the Pomodoro technique. It sounds kind of fancy, but it is deceptively simple. All it is using a timer to break your work down into these short, focused chunks with little breaks in between. It's just a way to trick your brain into finally getting started. The classic amount of time for one session is just 25 minutes. That's it. Think about it. Almost anyone can do almost anything for just 25 minutes, right? The key is, you're not trying to finish the whole gigantic task. You're just focused on getting through that one 25-minute block. And after your 25 minutes of focus are up, you get a 5-minute reward. But this isn't just goofing off. This is a strategic shift into diffuse mode. Go for a walk, listen to some music without lyrics, doodle it a little bit. You are letting your brain's other operating system work on the problem in the background. So why is this so important to get a handle on? I love this metaphor from the book. It says procrastination is like taking small doses of arsenic. One tiny bit won't kill you right away, but you keep doing it and over time, it does some really serious damage. The Pomodoro technique is basically the antidote. You know, when you start putting all these pieces together, it leads to this really profound shift in how you see the world. You start to realize that learning isn't just something you have to do. It's a power that you can actually wield. And that all leads to what might be the single biggest change of all. It's shifting your mindset from, ugh, I have to learn this, to, wow, I get to learn this. When you finally understand how your own brain works, learning stops feeling like a chore. It really becomes a privilege. It's an opportunity to grow. And this brings us right back to where we started, with Barb Oakley's story. It all comes down to this one simple truth from the book. Lady Luck favors the one who tries. It's not about being born a genius. It's about being the person who keeps trying, who stays persistent, and who uses the right techniques. So, I'll leave you with this. Your brain is, without a doubt, the most powerful and sophisticated gadget in the entire known universe. And it can literally rewire itself based on what you do. So now that you know how to use it a little better, what are you going to teach it next?